barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Click the link up top if you're on Instagram, down low if you're on YouTube. All right. I want to have this conversation, and I want to explain it thoroughly. I personally ain't got no qualms with Marcus Browne. It's my rubric for manhood and masculinity. And let me explain something to you guys. Science is God's divine order. I'm going to repeat that. Science is God's divine order. Groups you join while you are alive is a choice. Republican, Democrat, being pro-black, Jack and Jill Club, YMCA, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, those are choices. But God's divine order in terms of masculinity and in terms of femininity, that's God's divine order. And we're losing sight of that every single day. And when a person shows you who they are, believe them. When a person shows you who they are 4 times, believe them. I saw on social media and throughout people who probably didn't even know Marcus Browne put Derek James goals before your masculinity. Because let me tell you something, I'm going to simplify it for you. If you let someone borrow something 4 times and they don't pay you back, don't they have to prove themselves to you? If someone steals from you 4 Thanksgivings in a row, don't they got to prove themselves to you? And that's all I'm saying. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to the fundamentals. We got to get back to the fundamentals of what it is to be a man, what it is to be a woman. I'm not exiling a man, but he gotta prove to us that he's a changed man. I am a an award. I am a recipient. There we go of second chances. Sometimes third chances. I've been to jail. I've been kicked out of college, and I learned my lesson. Got kicked out of college one time, I buckled down. Went to jail one time, buckled down. But when someone does it 3 and 4 or 5 and 6 times, you got to allow them to prove themselves to you that they're a changed person or an elevated person. Because if we don't, guess what we got to do? We're going to keep on allowing it. And then these gateway problems turn into life-changing problems. Like a weed dealer turns into robbing grandma, and then he kills, and then he starts killing. So these are just elevated situations, man. And I just want us to get back to that. I want Marcus Browne to win in life. I don't care. I don't value that as much as him winning in the ring. Derek James being a 3-time unified, whatever, 3 unified champ. I don't care about that. We should have been pushing for his mental stability. Now everyone is backtracking, saying it was a terrible game plan. He's a quitter. Listen, if on your 3rd domestic violence charge, you choke a woman, and it's documented, I'm pretty sure y'all fact checked it. He got coward in him. He's going against God's divine order, which is science. And all I can do is get to the next person now at this point. Because if we got a group of men that's holding men accountable, we win in the end. Hip hop don't raise our kids. NBA YoungBoy is not the leader of our community. These pastors can't get over. We bragging about groups. We bragging about my pastor is richer than your pastor. The Democratic Party is more black than the Republican Party. Let's go back to science. I believe in systemic oppression. I believe that is there. I'm no dummy. But in our lives, don't go against science, man. And when we start going against science, you get unisex bathrooms, men having babies, and you get men beating up women. And then guess what? Men who call themselves masculine men, forgive them because they want a trainer to be successful. How does a trainer's success supersede masculinity? Explain that one. I don't get it at all. And I'm not, and this got to be a learning lesson. Because if it was Sergey Kovalev or Billy Joe Saunders, guess what? Oh man, people would have came out in droves. Oh man, listen, I saw it. We should have been holding Marcus Browne accountable. Have you learned your lesson? It shouldn't be I'm rooting for Marcus Browne. No, you got to hold that man accountable, and he got to see that there's a group of men that's going to hold him accountable, because now he's a gatekeeper, and now no one's ever going to mention his name. You know why no one's ever going to mention his name? Because you didn't mention his name before he got with Derek James, or he was in the gym with Earl Spence. You're not going to mention his name. You don't care, because guess what? He ain't going to give you no clicks. No one wants to hear about him. He's not popular. Now we got to hope and pray that he goes back to Staten Island or New Jersey, where he's from, and gets the help that he needs, serves his community, raises his kids. I want that for him. You understand what I'm saying? Malcolm X is a hero of mine. And the most beautiful thing, one of the more beautiful things about Malcolm X is one time, he went to jail one time, got caught, came back, an evolved man, and worked in the same community where he committed the crimes. I respect that. I respect uh, men in my community who open up uh, their own business because they are felon. I respect that. The barbershops, the cleaners, the car washes, you know the real estate agents. I respect that. But if someone betrays you 3, 4 times, and in your real life, you wouldn't give someone a fifth chance. And please send this to Marcus Browne, because I'm gonna hold him accountable. Next year, I'm gonna check in on him, see how he's doing, and I'm gonna slide in his DM next year, and I'm gonna say I hope you're doing well. But I don't believe men need metaphors to have conversations with men. No, it's yes or no. Oh man, well, I know you didn't win the fight, and yeah, but man, I hope that when you go back, no, what you're doing is wrong. You're 1 year, you're 16 to 18 months removed from pleading out. Now we got to hold you accountable. Because if that's the case, then Sergey Kovalev can slide in our community. Why are we holding Billy Joe Saunders accountable? I don't understand it. Stick to science. Groups you are a part of are personal choices while you are alive. Do not deviate from God's divine order, which is science. We already did it. They don't chop down the trees, and now we're not hunters and gatherers, and we want a revolution, but we go to the grocery store to get our meats and our fruits and vegetables. It don't work that way, man. It don't work that way. So I love y'all from the depths of me. But Fred, don't deviate from God's divine order, which is science. Many of y'all deviated from God's divine order. This ain't about nothing else but masculinity. You cannot put a group you are part of, a group you want to be a part of, before God's divine order, which is science. It's simply that put. And I don't want to go back and forth with y'all. It's just a disagreement. I'm not going to disrespect y'all. It's just a disagreement. Fred don't budge when it comes to masculinity, whether I got to do it with my fists or whether I got to do it with my intellect. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to be a man. If I challenge a man, I have to respond to how he reacts to it. I can't say, "Oh man, we got to talk about this in person." If I stand for something and he doesn't agree, and I have to respond to how he reacts to it, it's simply that. It's simply that simple, man. And we got to stop dying a million deaths in our lives. You know what I mean? We got to stop dying a million deaths, man. You're only supposed to die once, man. You know what I mean? And the greatest men you inspire, those 6 greatest men that you inspire, is supposed to carry you on your throne for your last trip. And I mean that from the depths of me. All right? So stop trading in your masculinity for being a part of a group. And stop disrespecting God's divine order, which is science. We can't talk about men having babies and then go against masculinity. Marcus Browne got to prove himself to us. And once he proves himself to us, we can wrap our arms around him. But until then, we got to wait and see, right? Just like it takes 4 years to graduate from college, 10 years to med school. Said you got to prove yourself worthy of that degree. You got to prove yourself worthy of being back into this group called masculinity. Real men, alpha males. I'm gone. Love y'all. Peace.